kidnapping epidemic. I want to ask a question. Is capital punishment the answer for kidnapping in this country? Is capital punishment the answer? Remember that 9 days ago, in fact, yesterday, made it 8 days since 20 medical students from the University of Maiduguri and the University of Jos were kidnapped in Otukpo area of Benue State. Their whereabouts remain unknown. Today is day 9. 20 medical students. These are people we call leaders of tomorrow. These are people who are going to come into the medical field and hopefully change the fortunes of Nigeria's health sector. Remember, these medical students, when they graduate from school, many of them want to leave the shores of this country. And some of the reasons are because of this insecurity. So today is 9 days after 20 medical students from the University of Maiduguri and the University of Jos were kidnapped in the Otukpo area of Benue State, and their whereabouts remain unknown. So as the nation grapples with the escalating scourge of kidnapping, a pressing question arises. Is it time for the federal government to take a drastic measure and impose what I call capital punishment on kidnapping? Will it, or rather, will this serve as a deterrent to stem the tide of this heinous crime? Or is it a mere band-aid on a deeper societal wound? That's the conversation we're having this morning. I want you to share your thoughts respectfully as we look at what are the possible means of dealing with insecurity in Nigeria. Kidnapping epidemic. Is capital punishment the answer? That's the question we're asking this morning. How can we deal with the scourge of kidnapping in Nigeria? Zlatan, what's the answer to kidnapping epidemic? I mean, I just put out a question here. Is capital punishment the way to go, or you think there are other ways we can deal with this matter?
Well, you mentioned something when you were, you said every time you go to your dailies, you're always seeing negative news there all the time. So, well, I don't know why. But you're seeing something all the time doesn't mean that it is true or they're actually happening. So this, I asked the other time, these people, these 20 medical students, do you have their names yet?
It's not been published.
Do we have their pictures yet? No. Okay. And this also came out just days after the presidency came up with measures that will keep medical students here
in the country,
and even those ones that will come back, right? So this came out. This kidnapping incident came out after that. So I'm just thinking out loud anyway. But if for kidnappings, I would say no to capital punishment because for me, I believe that it should be killed if you kill somebody. So unless these kidnappers, maybe who they kidnap, maybe along the line they kill one of them. Probably when they're asking for ransom, they kill one of them. Of course, when they are caught, they should be killed too. But if it's just that they just kidnap somebody and at the end of the day they get caught without before them killing anybody, of course, there are other ways of punishing these people. Maybe a life in prison, maybe a lot of years in prison. But killing them, I don't think it makes sense. I think that's too extreme for the crime they committed. So many years in prison, life imprisonment, that's okay. But then in the process of these kidnappings, in the process, if they kill somebody, maybe while they're asking for ransom, and of course they kill somebody, probably because they're not getting what they're asking for, then of course if they're caught, then they should be killed too. So that is it. But I just feel that this whole kidnapping, the ones that, earlier this year we had a lot of report about kidnappings. Now, what happened to those news? What happened to those stories? Is dead. The ones that they kidnapped, where are they now? Did they caught any of those people? No. The people that they kidnapped, have they been released? No. We didn't hear anything. We've not heard anything about those stories that were earlier this year. So I'm just asking. All the time. That time. Every day, there's always a story about kidnapping, and you begin to ask yourself, are these stories really are they really true or not? And looks like we are back there again. And I don't understand the emphasis on medical students. Why medical students?
This time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I do not know, but it's not the first time. I mean, medical students have been, kidnapped in this country. We've seen several times when the NMA, the Nigerian Medical Association, will come out to protest, seeking for the release of particular kidnapped medical students. And so the worry continues, the concern continues. And this morning, we'd like you to share your thoughts with us as we look at the best possible way to handle this situation. We just put out a question. Is capital punishment the answer? Will it serve as deterrent to others? Well, Zlatan said no. I mean, long jail terms should be handed down to these, kidnappers. But I'm looking at it this way, Zlatan. Our custodial centers are overcrowded.
There should be more. I mean,
Well,
they
should be listening to you on this one.
or they can expand it.
Okay.
Yeah, they can build more prisons or expand the ones that we have.
You also hear of prison escape. I mean, sometimes I don't know how much this custodial center, works in terms of ensuring that maybe when they're done serving their jail term, they don't come back and inflict more harm on the people.
Well, they used to say that. I mean, someone who has been indicted of a particular crime, they don't usually change. To be honest, they don't usually change. Even they go 20 or 30 years, they come outside. There's a big chance that they're going to commit crime because I mean they've been away for a very long time. They don't have anything doing. So how would they start? So they'll most likely commit a crime again. So we've seen many times that somebody went to prison, he came outside, and a few days or a few weeks is back there, or a few months is back there again. So I don't know. So I just feel that it just doesn't make sense to kill them if I mean we are not in North Korea unless we want to start behaving like want to adopt their ways there. North Korea or Saudi Arabia or and all those countries that of course maybe even China safe. But as long as we are still practicing what we are practicing here, I mean just give them long-term prison and of course prison sentence. But if they kill along the line, of course, should be killed.
Okay, well, you heard it there. Zlatan has set the tone for the conversation. Right about now, it is your turn to talk to us. Kidnapping epidemic. Is capital punishment the answer?